We believe that there is advice that is continually given to medical practices by well meaning accountants, business advisors, and also colleagues that will contribute to the demise of your practice. This advice is well meaning. This advice, there is no malice behind this advice when people give it to you. But ultimately, when you look at the details of it, it could very much harm your business. And that advice is to buy medical equipment, to make capital investments, to increase capex solely for the purpose of avoiding paying taxes. I have a few key points that I'm going to go through that I think that after you listen to this video, you may think twice about buying equipment simply to avoid paying a larger tax bill. Number one, the question you have to ask yourself is, how much do you really need that equipment? Because if you truly needed that equipment, you would have probably already purchased it without needing the tax incentive, right? Number two, as the owner of a private practice, every dollar that comes out of your practice that goes to anyone else, you have to account for it. And it has to make financial sense. And so when you're buying equipment, just like any other piece of any other capital investment that you make, you want to get the best deal possible. Another key question you have to ask yourself is this particular purchase in line with your overall business strategy? For example, if your niche is general dermatology and it's working well for you, it may not necessarily make sense to purchase a piece of equipment that's outside of your strategy. It may not necessarily be your sweet spot or what you or your bread and butter. Another key question is the equipment that you're purchasing. What is your long-term plan for this equipment? Meaning, what do you see this equipment? What role do you see this purchase playing in your practice 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? And then a major question is, when your accountant or your business advisor or whomever, your colleague, your friend who went to medical school, who also owns a private practice, when they recommend that you buy a piece of equipment to offset your tax liability, you have to dig deep and make sure that you're considering all of the costs that comes with the ownership of that piece of equipment. So, for example, have you factored in the cost of marketing that equipment? Another thing is you have to think about training costs. Also, another thing to consider is, have you factored in the cost of potential liability? And so, to sum up, I believe that you want to figure out a way to pay the lowest amount of taxes that are legally that's within the realms of the law. There's no sense in giving money to Uncle Sam for things that you shouldn't have to give it to.